The Lion Who Refused to Give Up Part 1. The first rays of sunlight slowly spread across the endless African savanna. Golden light touched the tall grass as birds began singing to welcome a new day. Every animal knew that somewhere in this vast land lived the mighty lion named Leo. Leo was not just the strongest lion in the region. He was wise, calm, and fearless. He never hunted more than he needed, and because of that, every animal respected him. But nature has a way of testing even the strongest. One summer, the rains never came. Day after day, the rivers became smaller. The green grass turned brown, and the hot wind carried nothing but dust. Trees dropped their leaves, and animals began leaving the land in search of water. Soon, the once beautiful savanna became silent. For the first time in years, Leo could not find enough food. Every hunt ended in failure. The antelopes were faster because hunger had made them more alert. Zebras traveled in larger groups. Even the smallest prey disappeared. Days turned into weeks. Leo's powerful body became thinner. His golden mane lost its shine. Walking across the dry land became harder with every sunrise. One evening, Leo climbed the highest rock in the valley. From there he looked at the empty plains stretching toward the horizon. He whispered to himself, "Have I become too weak? Is this the end of my journey?" At that moment, an old eagle landed quietly beside him. The eagle had watched countless seasons come and go. His feathers were old, but his eyes were full of wisdom. He looked at Leo and smiled. "The desert doesn't ask whether you're strong or weak," the eagle said softly. "It asks only one question. Will you keep moving?" Leo stayed silent. The eagle continued, "I have seen powerful lions disappear because they gave up. I have also seen ordinary animals survive because they refused to stop trying." Those words echoed inside Leo's heart long after the eagle flew away. That night, the sky was filled with stars. Leo could hear the distant cries of hungry animals across the dry land. Hunger twisted inside his stomach, but something had changed. Instead of fear, he felt determination. Before sunrise the next morning, Leo stood up. His legs were weak, his body was tired, but his spirit was alive. He began walking toward a part of the savanna where he had never hunted before. Every step was painful. The burning ground heated his paws. The hot wind blew dust into his eyes. Still, he refused to stop. After hours of walking, Leo reached a rocky canyon. Suddenly, he noticed fresh footprints in the sand. They belonged to a herd of antelope. His heart started beating faster. For the first time in many days, hope had returned. Part 2 continues. The Lion Who Refused to Give Up Part 2. Leo carefully followed the fresh footprints through the narrow canyon. Every step had to be silent. Even though he was weak, he knew one careless move could cost him his only chance. The trail led him to a hidden valley surrounded by tall cliffs. In the middle of the valley was a small pond that had survived the drought. Fresh green grass covered the ground, and dozens of antelopes were peacefully drinking water. Leo hid behind a large rock. He slowed his breathing. He watched every movement. The wind was blowing in his favor. "This is my chance," he whispered. Patiently, he waited for the perfect moment. A young antelope slowly walked away from the herd. Leo lowered his body. His muscles tightened. 3, 2, 1. With every bit of strength left inside him, Leo exploded forward like lightning. The herd scattered in every direction. Dust filled the air. The chase had begun. The antelope ran with incredible speed, jumping over rocks and bushes. Leo refused to give up. His legs burned with pain. His lungs felt heavy. But he remembered the eagle's words. "Will you keep moving?" That single sentence pushed him forward. With one final leap, Leo reached the antelope. The hunt was over. For the first time in many weeks, he had food. After eating, Leo didn't keep everything for himself. He left part of the meal for hungry jackals and vultures waiting nearby. They looked at him with gratitude. Days passed. Dark clouds finally gathered above the dry land. A cool wind swept across the savanna. Then, the first raindrop fell. Soon, heavy rain covered the entire valley. Dry rivers came back to life. Green grass spread across the plains. Flowers bloomed once again. Animals returned from distant lands. The jungle was alive again. Leo stood proudly on the same rock where he had once thought of giving up. This time, he wasn't looking at an empty land. He was looking at a world full of life. The old eagle returned and landed beside him. "I knew you would survive," the eagle said. Leo smiled. "No, He replied softly. I survived because I never stopped walking. Years later, young lion cubs often gathered around Leo to hear his story. They expected him to speak about strength, sharp claws, or powerful roars. Instead, Leo always told them the same lesson. Real strength is not in your muscles. It is in your courage to keep moving when life becomes difficult. Every failure teaches you something. Every challenge makes you stronger. And every sunrise gives you another chance to begin again. As the golden sun slowly disappeared beyond the horizon, Leo let out a mighty roar that echoed across the entire savanna. It was not a roar of victory. It was a roar of hope. Because no matter how dark life becomes, the ones who refuse to give up always find their sunrise.